Hello and welcome to the second part of GTA 2 Basics tutorial. Thing is, I wanted to make this video like 1 week since I released the previous one, but it was a bit over 8 months at this point, maybe even 9. Well, regardless, there's been some stuff that I mentioned that wasn't entirely correct, and there was also some stuff that I didn't address, or some stuff that which appeared later down the line. So in this video I'm gonna cover everything that I missed or did explain incorrectly or something that I completely didn't know about. So before we start explaining respect, I'm gonna quickly explain you the debug keys that I'm gonna be using. First of all, if you go into this menu, here is do debug keys. There are two things that are checked. One is show cycle, which is this thing at the bottom, extremely important as I was explaining earlier. And the other thing is do debug keys. I shouldn't probably be telling you, because it should come as no surprise, that using them in a speedrun is not allowed. If you would be discovered to ever use these things intentionally, you'll probably get banned. Well, anyway, you can use this for practice and it's extremely important. So first things first, what debug keys actually exist? 1, 2, 3, they affect your respect meter, respectfully first, second and third gang. They just increase it by 20, and as you can see, each mark on the gauge is 20 respect, and then flashing is 100. So if we increase it now, it goes into -100. Let's go and bring it back to a 0. Then number 4 increases our wanted level until 6 and then drops it. Number 5 respectfully just drops our wanted level. So if we have 3, 5, 5, it drops it completely even. Right, 6. Not so sure what it does. Might not do anything. 7, 8, 9, 0, minus, plus. Doesn't really do anything. So the other ones come on a numpad. I don't have numpad on my board, but 4, 8, 6, 2 moves the camera around. 5 centralizes it on you. 7 and 9 zoom out and zoom in. Again, 5 resets camera to normal position. 1 and 3 don't do anything.
Freeze!
Plus is a
Freeze!
frame by frame
Freeze!
pause,
Freeze!
which you can probably use for something. As you can see, counter at the bottom is getting increased only by 1 when you press the plus.
Freeze! Freeze!
To unfreeze, you just F6. Enter does nothing. Del does nothing. Or I can see the results. 0 teleports you. So if you move the camera, press 0, you're getting teleported. No idea what multiplication does. Star and minus speeds up the game.
Freeze!
So with speeded up game, camera also moves faster. So if you want to teleport to a different part of a map, the fastest way to do it would be zoom out with 7, speed up the game with minus, go somewhere, drop yourself with the teleport on numpad 0, and bring back the game by pressing minus once again. So this is basic debug features. I'm not gonna be mentioning what I'm doing here now by pressing different buttons, so let's go back into respect and how respect works. Last time when I was talking about respect, I kinda estimated every single number and turned out to be wrong. Unsurprising, but let's see how values actually happen. So when you kill or do actions against one gang, the other gang starts loving you, but the gang which you publicly humiliate will start hating you. So by killing a guy with use of a weapon, I guess some of my buttons increased pedestrian density or something, because that looks really weird. Let's kill this guy. So as you can see, -5 and +5. So each weapon kill increases or decreases, whatever you look at it, the respect by 5. So you can kill 4 gang members until your respect goes to 20. As you can see, Russians don't like me now. They're in one negative respect. So he starts shooting me. Let's fix that. Now what will happen if we use a car to do the same thing? So let me find a car. It would be really good if I find the gang car, but I don't think I'm gonna get one now. Just any car, really. Garbage truck is perfectly fine for that. These numbers I will also review in just a second. So let's run over the guy and only -1 and +1. So as you can see, by running over gang members, you effectively have can kill five times more gang members before you lose your wanted level, gang respect level. So it will be 20 kills, and only then you will get the magic -20. Yeah, it's good to remember that when you drive in a big populated with gang members place. Let me restart the district because I think I did some weird debug things. Now for the vehicles. Gang cars also affect your respect. Stealing them, destroying them, does different things, and there are a few cases that we wanna see here. So first of all, let me find the Bulwark. Since we're in the Russian area, that's the car that I'm looking for. So here we got ourselves one Bulwark. Let's start by the simple things. Well, we can use this one. If we steal a Bulwark, it loses us 1 respect. Let's drive it away and destroy it. That box truck is really suicidal. It loses us 1 more. So now let us find Bulwark, which still has gang member inside, and destroy that one, because that will produce a bit different results. Here, found one. Gonna just destroy him. As you can see, that changed the value by 6. That's because you kill the gang member with a weapon and you also destroy a car. Well, that's how I see it at the very least. So, cops, please, we're talking here. So that's the basic info about respect, but there is one more thing which I probably should mention. In speedruns, it probably is super irrelevant because you're mostly never gonna use it. For that, I'll need to get a special agent car and go to the cranes. So see you there. So here I got myself a special agent car. It's quite a unique, but it's not the only car that does it. So there is a mechanic in this game, which is cranes. By destroying cars, you get different power-ups and bonuses. So by destroying special agent car or Vellard at the gang docks will be, well, docks, cranes. This will be Russian dock, for example. There is one in the bottom left which is Zaibatsu, and in the bottom right there is one which is Krishna. They do kind of the same thing. So let me leave the car while it's getting crushed. Quickly walk over here. The strategy of that kind was used in pacifist speedruns, so maybe that become relevant again. This will spawn respect power-up, which is a unique thing. It doesn't spawn in the world, and if you collect it, as you can see, our Russian respect jumped from -9 to 11, which means that it got increased by 20. So effectively, if you're just starting the district, you haven't killed a single Russian, you can increase their respect to 100 by dropping 5 special agent cars, and you won't harm your what that would be, Zaibatsu respect. It would stay at 0 because no negative respect appeared in these two gangs when you just destroy the car. So that way, if you want to, you can max out all 3 respects to 100. You can't do all of them to -100 without using debug though, but you don't really need to. So in residential and industrial, you can do this thing to fix your respect for every single gang. However, in downtown, you can only do that for Zaibatsu. And as I said, with Willard, but let me show you that. So as I said, Willard acts exactly the same as Special Agent Car in that regard. It will also give you a respect bonus. But if you think of Downtown, if you know the game well enough, you'll know that there, in fact, is no cranes in Yakuza area. Same goes for Krishna. Let me speed this process up a bit. But I mean, regardless how fast I'm scrolling, you won't find any. But there is... well, let me get into a car, I guess. There's this one in the bottom right, which doesn't belong to any gang. And if you destroy it here, it will still spawn the respect power-up. However, you won't be able to pick it up because that one respect power-up will not be bound to anything, which is kind of weird. And for Zaibatsu, you can bring Willards to the top of a map over here, and it will spawn the respect power-up just fine. So let me show you that. It's exactly how I describe it. Running with increased speed is definitely not easy. So let me turn game to normal speed, and as you can see, I cannot collect this one. It won't trigger because it just doesn't work. So that respect is covered, and everything that might have sounded dumb or silly last time when I was talking about it probably makes way more sense this time. So now let's talk about speed variable. Here it is. Speed is basically top speed is when you speed up to the most, and the top speed of a car is the top speed of a car. That's how you measure the fastest cars. So this Minx, for example, is not a very good car, but we're using it for testing because why not? So car gears, which is number 3, when we start slowing down, drops down to 1 and then 2. When your car is in undamaged condition, it can go up to 3rd gear, no problem. Let me damage a car. Oh, I don't have any weapons. Let me find a weapon. So starting from, I believe, 50% damage, your car will start burning. And when your car starts burning, you can't reach 3rd gear. Except for a 50%. I believe for 50% it is still possible to reach gear number 3. However, I killed a pedestrian, which dropped my top speed. Can't have no traffic here, unfortunately. As you can see, car cannot go above gear 2. However, if it is at exactly 50, it can. So burning car also slowly damages itself. If we just stay here, do nothing, let me speed up the game, you'll see that the damage slowly grows up. So when car is burning, it eventually is gonna explode, and the more it's damaged, the slower it drives. So for effective driving, you really want to be able to reach the 3rd gear on your car. Because when it drops down, well, to the last possible burning, it won't be able to accelerate past 1st gear. Let me speed up this ramming wall with my face process. So from 80, I believe, yeah, the heavy burning starts. Now I won't be able to. As you can see, I'm barely getting past 2nd gear. That's how it's gonna go until the car is eventually dead. Each gear affects how fast your car gains speed, so learning the effective time of how long you drive on each road and what angles you take on a certain cars to be able to, well, get to the 3rd gear and preserve it by turning, like, not making a big turn, but making a small turn. This is really important in a run. This is not something you should be super concentrating about. Just try to figure out in certain spots, whenever you can I reach the 3rd gear during that drive? If yes, reach the 3rd gear and only then start turning. Because every single turn, as you can see, if you start wiggling around, it affects your acceleration, your speed. So it will still be like, for example, staying at second. But if you accelerate to the third and then turn, which I can't do apparently, now you can start wiggling around. It will still be dropping you a bit of a speed, but not nearly as much. Before you start maneuvering, try to speed up to the third gear. And only then do like fix your position on the middle or something else. Big turn will drop all your speed to gear 1, but not to complete halt. Well, if you don't mess up that badly. That was a bit of an unprepared explanation, I'm sorry for this one, but it's kind of an important thing. Whenever you drive, if it's a longer drives, try to fix your position, get to third gear, and then fix position even further. Same goes for like turns, try to turn slightly so that you don't lose your acceleration. Now, there is another thing which I want to talk about, which is chaos meter. It's a very basic GTA thing. I'll show you on screen how it looks like. So this is from GTA Wiki, GTA Mods Wiki rather. GTA 2 has a rather simple chaos meter system compared to like 3D GTAs. There are only that many things that affect it. Only 5, really. Killing gang member, killing pedestrian, emergency personnel, committing a crime. Well, emergency personnel is cops or Medicar people. So that's why when you will kill a cop, you will not get a wanted level. Unless another cop saw it, of course. Because committing crime near cop gives you 600, otherwise... I don't know how much it does otherwise, it doesn't state it here, but sure less. Destroying vehicle does it 600, that's why you can see like in the start of all mission run, there's always you pick up the Molotovs and you destroy the car. That's to instantly gain wanted level. So it's very important to count your pedestrians when you want to really avoid a wanted level, to not overdo it, and of course don't drive pedestrians when near when near the cops. So it's rather simple. Not gonna I wanted to showcase it within the game, but I kind of didn't find the values for this, so we're gonna go with the wiki explanation, that one. I think it's good enough. So another thing I want to talk about is the game frame rate. You can use this thing in the bottom to count your frame rate. I'm not sure if I was talking about it in the previous video. I'm pretty sure I was mentioning the frame count, but whenever you want to run this thing, make sure that this number that you have here makes your frame rate go to about 30.3 per second. It is very important. For short categories, it is vital. If the deviation will be really big, your runs will get absolutely bombed because, well, such are rules. For bigger categories, it's slightly less aggressive, but still, if your FPS is higher than 30.3, it's definitely gonna get bombed, because for longer categories you use RTA, and if you have a higher frame rate, your game runs faster. As for shorter categories, having less frame rate means you can do precise stuff more easily, thus it gets rejected. So there are many ways to fix this issue. For different people it works differently, because this game is an absolute nightmare to set up. I'm telling you as a person who set it up on different marathons on different PCs, and you never know what you're gonna hit. I'm gonna link in description the thread which I wrote down on speedrun.com when we first started to try to deal with this issue. Hopefully it helps if that is a problem for you. If it's not, it's really hard to tell for me what you should be doing to fix that. But maybe you know some other solutions, so you can mention it in the comments below, and I will make sure to update my thread and add different solutions. With that being said, let's go to a few things that I missed or explained not entirely correctly during previous video. So in previous video I was showing a whole bunch of different jumps because they're useful for various categories, but I kinda didn't end up showing this one because it actually covers two things. So first of all, there is this staircase which you cannot ride normally unless you hold the spacebar, something I told you in previous video. And there is a vent card there. So what you can do is you can do this stair jump by holding spacebar while also making it so that car goes off this ramp. This will basically get your height glitched and launch you very, very high, given the fact that your speed is high enough. So let me go back to despawn the traffic, and hopefully I won't mess that up. I don't know if you could see it, but the basic idea is that you drive over, well, I could see it, I guess it was a bit too fast, maybe I should use a frame by frame stop.
Freeze!
So here I got the jump. Let me keep holding forward
Freeze!
and also do frame by frame stop.
Freeze!
As you can see, the
Freeze!
car goes up.
Freeze! Freeze!
I kind of messed up, but at this point I could basically jump up. Normally you can't reach that platform because it's one block higher. If I would have jumped, I would have landed on it, and if I had slightly more speed, I would have also jumped over it. So when you flying over it, you would have hit enter and exit the car and like be here. You can see with the car tracks kind of what you're trying to do there, trying to launch yourself over like this area. I think it's just this side that your entire car must be on a slope, and then you get this weird launch which throws you up very, very high. Let me just try to showcase it off without slowing down, and we'll call it a day. As you can see, you don't need nearly any speed to hit that jump. Another thing which I kinda explained, but did it a bit incorrectly, and also didn't mention one very important thing, is about Molotov glitch. So I'm using the CD version right now, so if I tap the jump, as you can see I'm getting stuck in this animation, I can go over the gaps and not falling down. But if you start going down the slope, you will be going down. But if I let go, what will happen, my height will get reset. And what I said there, you'll get a weird jump. But in fact what happens is, if you're going down the slope like this, while juggling Molotov, you essentially are getting your height reset when you stop tapping. So, you would think that you can kill yourself, but like, if I go here, first of all, this is already a lethal drop, but if I'm gonna get like higher, it will definitely kill me. And that's another thing that which I completely forgot to mention. I'm not sure if it works in 9.6F or 1144 if you go down the slope, but if you accidentally mistapped, you will start falling, and what you can do is just tap Molotovs while falling down, and you will get no fall damage whatsoever. So this is the way to cancel your damage, and also the thing which I was explaining actually just does reset your height and doesn't do any weird jumps or something else. It's just a simple height reset. Another mistake of mine comes from me talking about Venkar glitch and talking about version 1144 specifically. But since this version has the glitch fixed, once you collect Venkar, save and reload, it actually won't have any cars in the spawns which you could collect, so that's where I was wrong, so I'm gonna quickly showcase it and move on with the rest of the tutorial. Here I'm gonna collect this Venkar. Now let me quickly get cars get money, save, and reload the district, and I'll go back to that car and it shouldn't be there. Now that I got enough money, I'll save, restart the district, and the van car that we collected should not be at the spot.
And remember, respect wasted.
As you can see, it's just not there. Now the last thing that you might have noticed, I said I was talking about Rockstar Classics website. Well, in fact, this website that I linked isn't actually Rockstar Classics because their website got closed by them, and the link that I had there is just some weird link. So I'm gonna say I have no idea whose that link is, but I removed it. You feel free to Google it, but this website is basically a copy of Rockstar Classics, and well, it might not be legit. I mean, in my book, it still is legit to get this game anywhere because they were giving it away for free for years, but you know, who knows. So now a few more things which I completely didn't know about or completely forgot that existed in a game. First of all, you can steal locked vehicles in a game, so if you just try entering cop car, this will happen unless you have wanted level, then they will obviously start exiting. So let us chase it, block its path so it doesn't go anywhere. As you can see, there is a short frame where the door is like kinda being open.
Freeze!
It's not that frame. Let's look at the animation here. The door is open for 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 frames. In fact, door is actually open during that time. So if during that period you manage to hit the enter once, like cancel your animation by hitting back or forward, and then pressing enter once again, you'll actually drag the cop out. In certain cases you will even enter the car. I think you need like a certain amount of frames to enter the car because it happens differently for me. So let's just do it. So it's like enter, up enter. There we go. Let's do that again if I can reach this cop car. Let's do it again just for showcase purposes. As you can see, even I struggle with it. It's not exactly free, but what else can you do with this is... oh, you can't do this here. You can also steal tanks from the roadblocks basically in the same way, because they're locked naturally. So here, I spawned the tank by doing the thing. If you try entering it, as you can see, it's also closed. With the same trick. You can drag out whoever is inside that tank. Some Randys, not actually military guys. So here's that. Stealing cop cars can be useful in certain cases. It's a pretty precise trick. It can be a bit annoying. So whenever you're in a tight spot and you really need a car and you have a cop car which you have no weapons to like basically fire, you only have your fists, that's not enough to attract the cops. You can try using this, but don't spend your entire day doing it. Just know of its existence. Another thing which I haven't talked about ever is trees, in fact. So trees actually have a collision. So first of all, you can land on them, so I'm going to use fly glitch to drop onto that one. As you can see, I'm staying on top of a tree. Here I'm falling down. And if you throw Molotov below it, Molotov will actually hit the ceiling. So there are a few spots in certain maps where throwing a Molotov like that will end up you losing your Molotov because it will just hit the ceiling instead of dropping down. So that's something to remember. You can drop on trees, and trees will also have collision if you throw Molotovs under them. Now let me quickly talk about out of bounds. Oh, that guy is annoying. I'll get a different car, whatever. So there are possibly many ways to fall out of bounds, but for simplicity I'll be showing you this one. Why is this important? Sometimes when you're just trying to finish a no reset round, just practicing, you might fall in the out of bounds, and in the out of bounds you really can't move. And before you can move in this one, and it'll be silly. But hopefully you can't move in this one. And you'll find yourself stuck, and there are ways around it. So first of all, this square right here, it's known as black hole. Why the collision exists there? No idea, but if you drive there, your car will get stuck. You can't get the car out of here, which will... As you can see, I'm not pressing any buttons. But if you exit... Well, I guess I built enough momentum there. But if you exit, you're gonna start falling. So you can cancel your falling by the thing that I already showed you, by tapping control. Sometimes you'll fall to the state like this in a different places, like going up the slope, for example. It can happen. If NPCs does it, and it's a vital NPC for a mission, you're probably screwed. Either kill yourself or rip run, but you can kill yourself from that position. Like, as you can see, I'm pressing different directions, nothing happens. But you can actually jump, and only that. Molotov doesn't do anything here, it just hits the ceiling. So what you can do from this area? Well, very simple. You can go either to a wall. Certain walls will still kill you. Not all of them. It's really complicated. Or what you can do, let me speed up the game for this. You can go to a water. And I do believe in this level you can also escape the out of bounds by going to this section down here. Oh, here, I hit the wall. So here, if I go here, I can just kill myself with a Molotov. Which I'm really not willing to be showing right now, because that's not the purpose of this. Can I go around? Okay. This is another of these walls. Or you can go to that kind of area and just undrown yourself. If there is a lower area like that, you can actually get out of bounds without killing yourself, which is kind of convenient. So be sure to keep that in mind. I don't think there was much else that I wanted to show, but there is one little thing that I want to share. It's relevant only for 100% speedruns. As I probably was telling you, there are vehicle car frenzies, with the cars being on trailers. So because of these, it's only version 1144 that won't crash if you do the frenzy and then save your game. If you do the frenzy and save the game, well, in case I didn't say it, if you do this car frenzy and then you save your game will crash 100%. There is actually more to it. So let me bring it here. This one requires you to kill 100 pets with a car. So, but there is a twist. If upon doing lost kills there is a cop car of any kind on screen, you will actually, well, crash the game. So we didn't know that, and for a very long time it just kind of didn't appear, and then I had many runs where that happened. So let me quickly get to the crash state and showcase it to you. Here I have quite a few kills left. Let me go get some normal pet blood going. Okay. Cops on screen, let me kill them. Guarantee myself one to level 2 or something. Now here, if I kill someone, game will crash. This crash happens on every single version of a game. 9.6, 9.6F, 1144. It's kind of amusing that no one knew about it until I started run. Well, maybe Redline knew, but he kind of never mentioned it. But yeah, that was always a thing in this game. And as last video, I'm gonna finish this one with a crash. I do think that I covered most of things, and I don't think there is anything else worth covering, really. Hopefully this one isn't that dragged out. Hopefully I'm not talking that slowly, and hopefully it is helpful, clean some things out. Yeah, next I'm gonna just do the tutorial mission, all mission district tutorials, where I go into mission intricacies, the different routes that you take in town. All that kinda isn't relevant for basic guide, so that's where basic guide is gonna end. Even if I miss something, unless there is like at least 10 minutes of things worth mentioning, I probably won't do a correction video. Just write down something in comments, but hopefully this is good enough. And I hope you enjoyed this video from either viewer perspective or it was helpful for you to learning how to play this game. Anyway, that was to Zero, and see you next time.